In this video, I am going to quickly show you how to create a list of numbers in Python. This is very useful for multiple applications, such as, for example, generating synthetic data or creating visualizations. Let's get started. I created a Jupyter notebook that you can reuse if you want. I'll put a link in the video description where you can download it. First, let's look at how to create a list of integers. To do that, we can use Python's range function. For example, to create a list of integers from 0 to 9, we can use a list comprehension, I for I in range 9 plus 1. As the last value will be excluded. If you prefer not to use a list comprehension, another solution is to use Python's list function. For example, by doing list of range 10. You will get the same result. To create a list of even numbers, you can add a condition stating that the remainder of the division by 2 must be equal to 0. Similarly, to create a list of odd numbers, you can add the opposite condition, stating that the remainder of the division by 2 must not be equal to 0. With range, you can also specify the starting value. For instance, to create a list from 1 to 9, don't forget that the upper value will be excluded, so you need to add 1. So, if you want 9 as the upper value, you need to enter range from 1 to 10. Another example, to create a list from -10 to 10, we can use range with inputs from -10 to 11. We can also use the list function. Note that you can also create a list using multiple conditions. For example, let's create a fake list from 0 to 9, and let's keep only the element greater than 5 and lower than 20. When creating a list, we can also transform the data. For example, if we want to square each number, we can do this in Python by adding 2 asterisks followed by 2. We can also create our own function. It will generate the same output here. To create a list of float numbers, you have 2 main options: focusing on the step between the numbers or focusing on the number of values in the list. First, let's create a list of float numbers with a specific step, using the numpy function arrange. First, let's import numpy. And then let's create a list using arrange with a step of 0.5 here. Now, if we want to create a list of floats with a specific numbers of values, we can use the NumPy function called linspace. Note that there is no e at the end of len. I often do the mistake. For example, let's create a list with 8 elements from 12 to 16. It will returns a list of 8 numbers. Same it also works with the list function if you don't want to use a list comprehension. To create a list of random numbers, you have multiple solutions in Python. I'm showing you here a simple example of how to generate a list of random integers using the randint function from the Python random module. Let's, for example, create 10 random numbers between 0 and 1. We can also use, for example, random sample to create a list of random integers. For example, let's select 10 numbers randomly from a list of 100 integers from 1 to 99. To wrap up this video, I also want to show you how to create a list of integers corresponding to days for a specific month. This can be very useful, and it's something I often use in my work. Let's first import month range from the Python calendar module. Then let's choose a year and a month. To get the numbers of days for a specific year and month, we can then use month range. Then to create a list, we can do. That's it. I hope you learned something. See you in the next video.